Hi, I'm Sarah Swanell, and welcome to this guided video on completing Distress Tolerance Worksheet 6, Self-Soothing. This worksheet is part of the Distress Tolerance module and is associated with Distress Tolerance Handout 8. The self-soothing skill is about calming yourself in moments of distress by engaging your 5 plus more senses. Vision is focusing on visually pleasant things. Hearing is listening to soothing or stimulating sounds. Smell is using scents to bring comfort or alertness. Taste is enjoying mindful eating or drinking. And touch is engaging in physical sensations that bring comfort. In addition to these 5 senses, I would also encourage you to explore using proprioception and the vestibular sense. Proprioception refers to one's awareness of their body in space. Proprioceptive input involves applying deep pressure, resistance, or movement to particular joints and muscles. Soothing activities can include using weighted items, exercise bands, compression clothing, having hugs, self-massage, squeezing something, chewing gum, and activities such as yoga, swimming, rock climbing, digging, and weightlifting, etc. The vestibular sense refers to one's awareness of their relationship to gravity. This includes our sense of movement, balance, and posture. Vestibular input involves any input that moves the head and or engages the body's balance system. Soothing activities can include swinging, hanging, climbing, rocking, bouncing, and again, activities such as yoga, rock climbing, gymnastics, and so on. So when should you use self-soothing skills? Use these skills when you're feeling distressed and need comfort, or if you want to ground yourself in the present moment, or you need a gentle, non-judgmental way to regulate your emotions. Unlike Wise Mind Accepts, which is worksheet 5, which focuses on distraction, self-soothing is about actively comforting yourself. This worksheet helps you track which senses are most effective for you in different crisis situations, and also how self-soothing affects your distress levels. The worksheet asks you to describe 2 crisis events. And for each crisis event, you'll describe the crisis using the describe skill and remaining non-judgmental. Rate your distress before and then again after using the skill. Select which senses you use to self-soothe and describe how you used them. Describe the outcome of using the skill, and then describe how effective the skill was in tolerating your distress. So let's go through and complete the worksheet. Firstly, we describe the crisis event or the prompting event. Remember, we use the describe skill to describe this event, focusing on who, what, when, and where without using judgments. So, for example, I might say, I was feeling lonely after seeing a friend cancel plans. I started to feel sad and restless. A judgmental version of that might be, I was pathetic and got really upset over nothing. Now, after writing the prompting event, we need to rate how distressed we felt before using any self-soothing skills. Where 0 is the calmest you've ever felt, and 100 is the most intense distress you've ever experienced. Before using my self-soothing skills, I'm going to write that my distress level was a 70. Next, we select which senses we used to self-soothe. Using vision might include looking at art, a sunset, or a candle flame. Hearing might include listening to calming music, nature sounds, or a favourite song. Smell might include using essential oils, baking cookies, or smelling fresh air. Taste might include eating something comforting or drinking herbal tea. And touch might be wrapping in a blanket, petting an animal, or taking a warm bath. And although this particular worksheet doesn't include any space to write about proprioception or the vestibular sense, please feel free to use these skills as well, where they might help you. Remembering that proprioception is being aware of your body in space and can include things like applying deep pressure, resistance, or movement to particular joints and muscles. And the vestibular sense includes our sense of movement, balance, and posture. I'm going to jot down here that I used vision and touch. Where I used vision by watching the clouds outside, and touch by wrapping up in my favourite blanket. Now we describe how the self-soothing affected our distress level. Did it help us feel more comforted? Did it help us feel more present and grounded afterwards? And I've jotted down here that watching the clouds helped me slow down my thoughts, and wrapping in a blanket made me feel safe and warm, and I noticed my body relaxing. So now we need to rate our distress after using the skills. Did the skills lower your distress even slightly? And think about if they didn't, would a different sense may have worked better? I'm going to jot down that after using my skills, my distress level went down to a 40 out of 100. And lastly, we need to circle a number to indicate how effective the skills were in tolerating the distress and coping with the situation without making things worse, where 1 means I couldn't stand it at all, 2, it helped a little, but I still struggled, 3, it helped somewhat, 4, I coped better and resisted urges to react impulsively, and 5, I fully tolerated distress without worsening the situation. And again, I'm going to select a 4 here because the skills helped me feel calmer and prevented me from ruminating. So now we need to fill out the second crisis event. Again, describing what the prompting event was, rating your distress before and after using the skills, selecting which skills you used, describing their outcome, and then rating their effectiveness. By completing this worksheet, you'll identify which senses bring you the most comfort. You can build a personalised self-soothing plan, and you can use self-soothing as a way to gently regulate your emotions. Remember that self-soothing is not about avoidance, but about grounding yourself and creating safety in moments of distress. Thanks for watching, and don't stop practicing your DBT skills to build your life worth living.